This video is designed to show you how to find peer-reviewed scholarly sources using Google Scholar. A peer-reviewed and scholarly source is an article that has been written by the researchers who conducted the work. This also means that the work written up by these researchers has been reviewed by other scientists, making it a very desirable source, having gone through the peer review process. Google Scholar is easy to use. Simply use it like a normal search engine. Let's say I'm looking up an article on plant nutrition. So I would type in plant nutrition and I want to specifically look for articles that relate to nitrogen. So I'd use the plus sign and I'm going to leave the articles button selected and I'm going to hit the search key. What you're going to find is a normal Google response. But what's cool about this is that all of these sources are what we would call scholarly sources. You can search the time by going over here on the left side and looking for maybe a custom date range, or maybe you're looking for things that are more recent. You can sort by relevance, which is how they're normally cited, or you can cite by date. And you probably aren't going to be interested in anything like patents, so you could uncheck that box if you wish. What you're going to see here is now your list of results, and there may be some that sound interesting to you. As you look down the list of sources, if you see over here on the right-hand column, anything that you see here, when there's a link here, that means Bethel has access to this article, and if you click on it, it's going to open it right there. There's no need to go through the library search engine. For other articles, say this one right here about amino acid absorption, this article doesn't have a link right here. It doesn't mean that it's not available in our library. It just means it might be a little bit more difficult to find. So let's check this out. If I click on this amino acid article, I'm going to come to a journal page, and you're going to see the organization and typically the journal name right across the top. And you're also going to get a whole bunch of other information. You're going to look for something that looks like a citation. That citation will help you when you're going to actually do your citations, which we'll talk about in another video. But what you're going to get here is the abstract, and this is just a short summary of the paper. What did the researchers do? What was the method that they used? What kind of data did they find, and what are the conclusions? This is a really good spot to start, to skim and see if it relates to your research question. And if not, then you should just move on to another source. So let's say this one doesn't really match what we're looking for, and instead I'm going to go back and I'm going to open this one right here that our Bethel Library has. And when I click on that, I'm able to get to a screen that looks like this. Again, you're going to see the journal name right here up at the top, and you're going to see the title and the authors, but this just gives me the abstract, and I actually want to see the whole paper. So I'm able to click on this full text, and it says free because Bethel has a subscription to this journal, and when I do that, I get the full PDF. Now you may find that this is the most useful way for you to find your sources. When you are reading your sources, you're going to want to pay attention to a couple of things in addition to the content, of course. One is the title, and that is located up here at the top of the article. You'll see that in every journal that you use. The author is right here, and then you're also going to get affiliation information, and you'll see that this article is actually written by a professor at the University of Minnesota. So you'll be able to find out where the research is coming from very easily. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will find a couple of additional pieces of information. You're going to find the journal name. This is Plant Physiology. You're going to find the date that it was published, which was the October issue of 2001. You're going to find the volume number. In this case, it's volume 127, and you're going to get the page numbers for the article. All of that information is going to be very useful for you when it comes time to cite your sources, so please make sure whenever you find a source that you're taking note of that information. That wraps up how to use Google Scholar in terms of finding scholarly research. Of course, if you have further questions, feel free to ask.